Episode 9. Fistful
of Mountain Dew.
Davis has died. We don't really have a topic this week, so we're just kind of ramble.
We're gonna ramble for a little bit. This will probably be a shorter episode.
There's just nothing. There's some links.
We can talk a little bit. we can talk about the last day of Warhammer Fest that hadn't happened yet.
Oh yeah.
So we can touch shortly on that.
Spoiler alert: it wasn't Fulgrim.
No, it wasn't Fulgrim.
But
crack a pack.
Battle for Zendikar.
Battle for Zendikar. I think we already did this one like a while ago. But
we
whatever.
did.
Uh-oh.
Binky. So Davis really wants the Ulamog out of here, and this was the little token card.
That means Ulamog's in the pack.
Common. First uncommon, Plated Crusher, Trample Hexproof 7/6 for 7 mana. Meh. Like, it's fine. It's not terrible.
You play it in limited.
You're playing in green, so you probably have a way to get it out. Infuse the elements. Converge, put X +1/+1 counters to target creature, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast Infuse with the elements. That creature gains trample on the turn.
Dumb.
Yeah. Time Drifter. Meh.
Well, it's not a Ulamog. Swear.
just
foil Ulamog? I would have died.
Ally encampment, add 1 to your mana pool, add 1 of any mana to your color, only used to cast an item.
It's like Cavern of Souls, but for allies.
Yeah. And then full. You can get full mountain?
It's not foil.
I said a full.
Oh,
full art.
I do like the full art lands.
And Sure Strike is a foil.
Haha, you didn't get
That's
Ulamog.
Haha. I would have hit the floor. I would have laughed so hard.
Would have been funny. I guess before we get into the last day of Warhammer Fest, Mike, what did you work on this week?
Some Adeptus Titanicus stuff.
Yes, I saw you put little, you 3D printed some little baby
like epic scale
marine. They paint.
They're so small. I'm not looking forward to painting them.
And he put them on the base of his Titan so that
Yep.
it looks like there's guys.
And they're Ultramarines, I've decided.
And he has this thing stepping on a Land Raider.
It is not a Land Raider, it is a Predator. Davis just doesn't know the Space Marine tanks.
Land Raider.
What have you worked on, Davis? Did you work on anything? Aside from work?
I worked on work. I worked on my game. We played the first session.
We can talk about that for a little bit.
We can, yep.
How it went.
So, I had to prepare. I've been making a tabletop RPG for the last 4 years or so, and we finally had the first session of what I could call a playable version of the game. So that was fun. I had a lot of fun.
We made some on the fly game changes.
We did, but that's okay.
Because I agree. I feel like it was needed.
That's fair.
It was just range on some guns.
Okay, to be fair, I was making rules in a vacuum. I didn't have any testing to go off of, so I was I feel I did okay for making rules in a vacuum. Okay?
No, it was fine. I had fun. I like my character. Can't wait for him to die.
Yeah. Yep. In the fuck bunker.
Yeah. You said bad word. So yeah, it's
now I have $1 in the swear jar.
So it's all right. It's a good system.
You think so?
I think so.
It's a decent system. Until it breaks.
Until it breaks.
They do only have 1 session. But before we get into that, let's get on to last day of Warhammer Fest.
Yep.
And I guess let's also share our thoughts about what we think about how that went as a whole.
Age of Sigmar.
It was Age of Sigmar 3rd edition. Woo! We all kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Guys, it was a huge reveal. Blue Sigmar! Yeah, guys, you didn't know it was coming.
It was like they unmasked the Scooby-Doo villain. It was like, oh, Old Man Winters in Old Man Winters' house. That's crazy. It was one of those things you just knew it was coming.
It's okay. We did get a Lumineth as a Stormcast. Lumineth are the new poster boys.
They are.
They're getting a 3rd battle tome.
Yep.
A 4th
In less than
one,
2 years.
actually.
In less than 2 years.
It's a 2-part battle tome.
Where are my Sons of Behemoth battle tome number 2? They left the Bone Grinder Gargan out of there.
It's because it's a Forge World. It's because it's a Forge World model.
You know what else is a Forge World model? The Death model that has like the horse. He's like, "Rah." That's also a Forge World.
What a description! It's got the horse.
It's got like claws.
You're talking about the Morngul?
Yeah, that's a Forge World model, and that's in their book.
That's because that thing was meta.
Fair.
People like that thing was scary when it was good.
That thing was terrifying.
When it was good, it was very good. But yeah, they revealed a new Stormcast chamber. Yay! I mean, for the people who like Stormcast, I'm sure it'll be cool for them.
I did like to look at the models they did show off.
Yeah. When I said they made a Lumineth as a Stormcast, it's they revealed like a new big Stormcast character, which is like this angel girl.
The big bummer with me for that is it means that they're kind of just moving on from Celestin Prime. They're like, he's dead.
Go away.
Because she's basically now his position.
Yeah.
Because he died.
Celestin Prime's such a cool model, though.
Yep, but he's dead, so no one cares.
He has the Hammer of Sigmar. He wields Galmaraz.
Did him real good. He's dead. Who cares?
Sad.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping for something not 3rd edition Age of Sigmar.
I was hoping if they were going to do that, they would have just done it on the Age of Sigmar day.
Yeah. Like, it didn't even feel like a big reveal. They were like, 3rd edition Age of Sigmar. Bye, and...
That was the whole day.
Yeah.
They didn't reveal anything else.
Like, it's not like they revealed...
Really, I think that's really my problem with Warhammer Fest. They chalked it up to be this week of Warhammer. Huge reveals every single day. And it felt like a weekend's worth of reveal content shoved out throughout a week. Yeah. Spread out throughout a week. Didn't feel like it was any more reveals than we would have got on a reveal weekend.
Yeah. It really didn't. It didn't feel like... It didn't blow my mind. Like, there was some stuff
There's
I'm like...
some cool stuff, like the Beast Snagas.
All the Beast Snaga stuff was super cool. But everything else is like...
And the War Boss with the Machine Gunner Grot.
I love him.
He's cool. Yeah.
But like the rest of the days, I was just like, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because what did they even reveal for Sigmar Day? That was when they did all the Vampire Centaurs and like
the Vampire Centaurs
and Kragnos.
Yep.
Which, yay, a lot of people didn't like those.
I like Kragnos. He's not a destruction model.
I mean, he is a destruction.
He is, but he looks like a Beast of Chaos.
Beast of Destruction.
Destruction.
Beast of Ulamog.
Beast of Ulamog.
So, it was like, it just felt weak. It was honestly my thoughts.
It just felt very...
It just felt like if you put all that into a reveal weekend, I would have felt like it was probably even just kind of a meh reveal weekend.
Yeah. It
would have been like, oh, that's okay. I'm glad we got some cool reveals.
Yeah, but it's like...
But...
It's the... GW's also done a good job of making me not feel super excited about reveals because, like... Because of the whole Cursed City thing. Is every box they make from now on just going to be one and done?
Yeah. You have to wonder now.
And now you have to suffer with FOMO, you know?
No, but they'll always print Aeronautica.
Ah, yes.
That's the one thing that'll never be a one and
Aeronautica.
Done. The game everyone plays.
No, so speaking of games that no one plays, I bought that Titanicus maniple.
Oh, yeah, nobody plays Titanicus.
No one plays Titanicus.
I mean,
I like the rule set for it a lot.
I'll play it with you if I ever get around to buying models for it. I'll play it with
that
you.
Maniple, best way to get into the game.
Because it's what, $185?
$185. You get a Warlord, a Warbringer,
a Reaver, and 2 Warhounds, which is... Yeah, it is a full Maniple, isn't it? Yeah. Like, you can play the game with just that stuff in the box, I'm pretty sure.
Sure can.
So you could buy 2 of them and have, like, a pretty good-sized force of options and stuff. So.
Well, it doesn't come with a ton of options.
Oh, it doesn't come with any of the options? I forget that those kits are like a one-option
the War Dogs, the Warhounds are the full kit. You get all the weapon. You don't get the, like, cool little shocky lance.
The Ursa Claw or whatever that thing's called.
Yep.
You don't get that thing?
No, that's a 4 gold upgrade.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
But, I mean, I was printing one off. But, but you get, like, the Vulcan Mega Bolter, the Plasma Blast Gun,
and the
laser Destructors or whatever. You get those, and the Flamer, the Inferno Cannon. You get those for each one.
Okay.
Which is cool. I have no idea how to magnetize the Warhounds. Not a clue. However, the rest of them...
You should ask Kelvin, because I think Kelvin was...
I already glued him in. I was like, whatever.
Oh, I was like, because I think he magnetized
I'm going to use these to plink off Void Shields. That's all that matters. But, like...
You have a Warlord.
The Warlord, super easy to magnetize.
Yeah?
No drilling, nothing. You just glue the magnet in. Done. It has a spot for a magnet.
Good.
Yeah.
What about the Reaver?
Reaver's a little more tough, but...
The Warbringer?
Warbringer is super easy. Has spots for the magnets.
I don't even know if the Warbringer has options, though.
It does. It can take anything a Reaver can.
Oh. 2 Power Fists.
No. No.
No.
They did
What
today, when I was scrolling on the face space, they did show off they're finally selling the other cannon option for the Warbringer for Titanicus.
Because what, it comes with a Quake cannon normally?
Yeah, it comes with the Quake cannon.
And what else can it have? A Volcano cannon? It can
have a Bellicoso Volcano cannon.
Which is the same thing that or the Bane Blade, one of the Bane Blade.
Alright, one of the Bane Blade variants has one. Which is silly to me because the Bellicoso Volcano cannon is huge.
Yeah. It's pretty big.
It's bigger than a Bane Blade.
Yeah, no, definitely they've got like the mini version on their tank.
Yeah, because the Bellicose, lore-wise, can shoot a ship out of low orbit.
Yeah, that's pretty gaming.
It's pretty gaming.
I do like that. Oh. So yeah, Titanicus. It's a fun game. I played it a while ago, actually. One of the guys here, he demoed it with me for a couple games, and I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
So there's that. I guess we can now go into talking about my games, since we did do that on Wednesday. So Mike, since you played it, I'd like you to do a lot of the talking here about like your thoughts on the actual game, because I feel like I obviously will have a biased opinion about it, seeing as it is my baby.
It is your love child. So we played it.
We have a 6-person party.
Yep. We have 2 androids. So to set the stage, it's fantasy.
So right, think of it like
in the future.
Yeah. So like
D&D future.
Fallout. Mix them together, you get sort of my game.
Yeah. Which has no name.
It doesn't have a name. It doesn't matter.
The game with no name.
That's the thing. The game with no name.
So like, in our party we have 2 androids, 2 ASMRs, a
human,
and a human. Which in this setting, dwarves are mutated humans.
Yes, they are not. They weren't around before the apocalypse.
Which they make sense. They evolved from humans being underground.
So they can see in the dark, and they're good at repairing stuff.
Yep. And blowing stuff up.
I was actually kind of surprised to see that we had 2 ASMR. I was surprised to see that. I didn't think people were going to double up on races as much. I
also didn't think that. I was kind of actually disappointed.
You were disappointed that you were not the only android?
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. I was a little bit like, there's so many other races, and you have...
Because there's what? You can be a human, you can be a mutant, you can be an orc, you can be a elf, a dwarf, an ASMR, a tiefling, and a beastman.
Yeah.
I think that's it. There's 8.
But the beastman is terrible.
I don't know. I was talking to someone about it. He looked at it. He's like, if you wanted to build a melee class, he's like, I'd like almost always go beastman. It's not that they're terrible. They're just a little risky.
Yeah. Because they can kill your own teammates.
Yeah, they sure can.
But yeah, I play an android medic. We have.
There's a bunch of different classes too. There's magic. Nobody played a magic class.
Oh yeah. I can tell you.
I guess
if M.5247.
Yeah.
If he dies, I'm probably gonna play like an orc Radmancer.
Okay. Yeah. So let me get, because that's the one thing I can't name all the classes offhand. I think there's 11.
Medic, gunslinger, paladin.
Well, right. So there's only two magic. There's only two magic classes. In the sense of, like, I guess if you consider a paladin a magic class, then maybe there's 3.
Because in the setting, magic is super rare, because to the point in the story, no one had to rely on magic anymore. So
they just relied on
the wayside.
Yeah, they just relied on technology.
It's kind of like
everything.
It's kind of like Bright in the Apocalypse.
Yeah, sort of. Which, to be fair, like I'd never watched Bright until a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we watched it here.
When we watched it here, because they were like, "Oh, you should totally watch this movie." It was pretty good.
Davis was like, "That's kind of like that."
So you can be a commander, a demolitionist, an engineer, a grifter, a gunslinger, a medic, a paladin, a radmancer, a scout, a shock trooper, a sniper, or a wizard.
Yeah, we have, so...
You're a medic.
There's a medic. We have an android shock trooper.
Yep. We have...
Dwarf demolitionist.
Human gunslinger.
ASMR
sniper, and an ASMR paladin.
Yep.
So that was an interesting... party.
No one really got to use their stuff.
Yeah, we didn't do a big combat though. I tried to keep it as just a small scenario.
It was just an introduction scenario where all of our characters met each other. Luckily, none of them died.
Well, so the scenario that I put them in for the first session was essentially that they're all sort of out wandering in this ruined city.
Yep.
And so they had to... I had Mike's character just kind of wake up on his own, and he had to wander around until he found the human gunslinger.
Yep. The smartest and the dumbest characters.
Yeah, to be fair, there was nothing in the rules or in me telling them that said they couldn't kill each other, so I was actually a little surprised they didn't test me there by trying to
I'm surprised I didn't get shot.
Yeah. Because none of the players ended up like turning on each other to try and kill each other.
It almost got there.
It almost got there, but nobody ended up. There was no friendly fire committed in the first session.
No.
So maybe that'll change next
session. Hiding sniper rifles though.
Yeah, the ASMR sniper. He's been a very what's the word?
Sneaky.
Yeah, he's been being very sneaky, very suspicious, so to speak.
Since he has the sniper.
He hasn't been very forthcoming with the party.
Yeah, I'm playing an android that was made to be a medic bot.
Before the apocalypse, so it's a medic. It's a robot that's been around since before all the events.
Yep.
And
so my medic doesn't look very human.
No. Nope. Because an android kind of just encompasses everything that's
android cyborg or robot cyborg.
Or what? Yeah, or
like a synth.
Yeah, a synth from Fallout, which is basically just like a human that doesn't really know it's a robot. You could call that an android. But I'm more referring to everything from like a full-on robot to something maybe more out of like cyberpunk, where it's like a human with like biomechanics. Yeah, like a cyborg. So it covers a range of things.
I like my character a lot.
Yeah, I don't think he'll die. I mean,
he might.
He might.
Lurker just.
Yep. So they fought a couple of like raider guys. They're raiders in this. They were just kind of like wastelanders that were fighting the paladin.
Yeah.
Which, again, I was actually kind of surprised they didn't just open fire on the other member of the party. Looking back, I was like, man, if they really wanted to, they could have just killed each other this entire first scenario.
Yep.
We could have been like, all right, reset.
Reset, everyone make new characters.
Party wipe. But they didn't. And then they got, they fought a lurker, which is a insect-like creature that lives...
They're gross.
They live in caves and dark spaces, and they're pack hunters, but they only fought one. So that was like the little foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that ends up. But they found a bunker that they're trying to get some loot out of.
Yes, we almost got into a fight over that too.
I mean, you did get into a fight.
Well, yeah, but not
But
with the party. Like, not...
No, because when they got there, they found the dwarf trying to blast his way into the bunker.
Yeah. In fairness, we did walk past him before we found him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was trying to blow him.
He just wasn't blowing anything up at that point.
I guess. Yeah, he was trying to blow his way into the bunker, and I like him too. Doesn't have a name.
Yeah, nobody had names because we
Except for my
created
character.
characters. Yeah, you were the only one with a name. I told everybody else to create a name, like give their character a backstory and a name before next session. And I'm also going to try and write like a little introductory piece that I'm going to read at the beginning of the session. So
Sure.
I'm sure next session there will be more to talk about. But what did you? Because we did a little bit of combat. What did you think about combat?
I think combat was fine. I think something we changed in game was the range of sniper rifles, because a shotgun has a range of 12.
One of them does.
One of them has
It
a range
is
of
like
12.
one of the more long-range shotguns, but
then a sniper rifle only had a range of 16.
yeah. So
But that was in your vacuum.
yeah, I was like,
Which
because I was making this in I wasn't making it for in the use case of what we're doing, which is we play on like a Warhammer 6x4
Yep.
table, and we converted all the things, because if you ever, like, I don't have the rules public anywhere, but a lot of the rules in there they measure things in spaces,
Yep.
and that refers to the 1-inch squares on a grid map. And so we just converted that all 1-to-1 to inches.
Yep.
And I wasn't considering, I was just considering that because when I've done like previous versions of this game with some friends, and we used a grid map to play, and so I was using it with that knowledge in mind.
Absolutely.
Which is just how that goes.
I do got beef. My PP Bison has a range of 10.
Yeah? You think that's too short?
I think so. I think it should at least be 12.
I mean, SMGs aren't that long range. But maybe.
My beef is the shotgun is 12.
The one shotgun,
that
okay?
One shotgun is 12.
Maybe this is just a bad shotgun to let you guys start with.
Yeah, maybe.
You have way more ammo than everyone
That's
else.
true. I'm just firing in the air.
So,
yeah, so I started with the PP Bison.
Yep. And
Coveralls.
yeah, everybody, a lot of
Pretty much everyone has coveralls, except the
only one person didn't start with coveralls, and that was our ASMR sniper.
No, the ASMR Paladin also didn't have coveralls.
Oh, well, he didn't have anything.
No.
But he took a perk to give him, his armor class was the same as you guys with coveralls.
Yep. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I like the rule system a lot. I kinda, not ragging on anybody, I kinda wish it was a little more serious.
Well,
Cause there's a lot of funny things that happen, which is fine. It's just,
you know, to be fair though, the character that I think that you were maybe having the most issues with, at the end of the session you resolved him being so silly, so to speak.
yeah. As soon as it started, I was like, yikes.
Yeah, but it was a good first session. I'm hoping the next one, I'm definitely going to take the story seriously. Whether they want to take it seriously or not is up to them.
My character's funny, not in the sense that he's trying to be funny.
He's very cynical.
He's very like, I've watched all these humans die. This is the average span at which they die.
Yeah.
Which all of his data is from during the war that caused the apocalypse, when humans were dying in droves.
Yep.
Well, humans and other races that were.
Not that they don't just get murdered all the time now, but
no, it's just during that time, he was with multiple squads and watched them all get wiped out.
Yep. So they also got into a fight with some operatives from a different.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I didn't care for that at all.
You didn't like that?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say, yeah, they got the same badge as you, and I'd be like, friends.
Nope.
That's what I was waiting for you to be like, they have the same badge, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna gun me down after they kill these guys.
Nope. So you didn't like it, or you?
No, like story-wise, I liked it.
Oh, okay.
Me as the robot that might be in cahoots with some military did not.
No, I can assure you that you're not involved.
My faction is dead.
Yeah. Yep.
The faction of humans I was lawn with have all died.
You actually weren't. It was sort of a what's the word? I guess a coalition of sorts.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of different races.
Like a Pan America.
Yeah. Yep.
From it's like Pan Am from Infinity.
Okay.
Like just a group of.
Yeah, it was a group of pretty much everyone.
Yep.
So, sounds like you served with humans a lot, though. Yeah. That was probably your main unit your droid was assigned to. But I want to take the story seriously.
Yeah.
They ran into some operatives from a different faction.
Shotgunned one immediately.
It was such a wild encounter. I did not predict that it was going to go the way that it
threw a bomb at somebody.
And so did someone threw a frag grenade at them.
Yeah, not like a bomb, like a bomb.
Yeah, like the thing he was trying to blast the door open with, he just chucked it at him and then just blew it up.
I do like that character a lot because I feel like that in that moment, that's what he would do. He'd be like, I have a shotgun, but I also have this bomb.
Yep. So,
I feel like I'm gonna have to heal him a lot because I feel that definitely the number of enemies I'm gonna have to do is gonna have to scale up a lot. I feel like we did one shot a lot of enemies just because there was more of you. Yeah, and I also feel like, to me, that makes me nervous. Which one-shotting them isn't so bad. I mean, that is kind of the that's kind of the name of the game here. I'm trying to make it so that maybe you're one-shotting them, but they can just as easily one-tap you. Yeah. So if you don't get the drop on them. I've tried to make it brutal in the sense that your character can die. I say die because them actually dying pretty much requires the rest of the party to die. It also requires the rest of the party to do nothing. Nothing, yeah. So it's not because I didn't want you to just get. I didn't like the design space of just boom, you're dead and that's it. Because I'm like, there's gonna be so many times when like someone's gonna get a random crit and just one shot someone, and that does not feel fun. I kind of wish there was back to when we're throwing the frag grenade, that was kind of that was a learning moment because you were like, I actually don't know how I want to do this. Yeah. Because we got really confused. I don't know if you really expected us to go and loot everything and find frag grenades. I came up with it on the spot actually that there were frag grenades in there. I did not have what was in those things planned when I placed them. Oh, good. No, that was completely improv that I did. I think it worked. I really like the bit about we opened one and there was like a tattered uniform and a gun or a handgun with one magazine in it. Mm-hmm. I thought that was cool. For on the spot, that was really cool. Yeah, I mean that's why I thought you had it planned. No, yeah, no, I was like in a trench even. Yep, no, I didn't. Nope, I didn't plan that at all. None of the only parts that were planned was that encounter even was impromptu. I didn't. In fact, the only thing I really planned was how you guys were gonna go meet. Like I knew I wanted to start off with one character, sort of just finding the group and building it as that. I didn't have anything else in the middle planned. Sure. So I think I did pretty good for having an impromptu session. But see, they ran into two. We keep getting off the subject of the actual encounter they did. They ran into two operatives and they ended up fighting them because these people were way better armed than all of their players. Like one guy had like a really good revolver, and then the other one had a assault rifle, and then they had a third guy who was a sniper that they couldn't see. Yep. But they ended up creatively dealing with that situation. Yeah. I feel like I did not expect that to happen. I feel like you should have had him roll bluff. Yeah, I probably should have, but he didn't technically lie about anything. He's just too stupid to realize what. That's true. And he is the stupidest character in the party. The guy who was on the human gunslinger. Yeah, he does play him well. Yeah. Basically, he's like, they're dead. We shot them. Yeah, because the guys because what happened is after they killed them, the gunslinger picked up
their headset and was like wearing it, and their sniper's like radioing to him. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? I hear gunshots." And he's like, "Are you guys okay?" He's like, "Yeah, we're okay."
We're okay.
Like,
they're dead. He shot them.
He's like, "Really? Really? That's how I mean, yeah, you guys are way better armed than them, but there was a lot of them." No, we killed them.
We killed all of them.
Because the sniper couldn't. There was rocks obstructing.
The sniper couldn't really
see what's going on.
The only character it could have seen would have been the
ASMR. In which case he would have been, in theory, if what this guy was telling him was true, then maybe he wouldn't have worried so much about him. Based off the behavior that this guy had been doing the whole time, he probably would have ran away. Honestly.
Yeah.
So they convinced him to rendezvous with these two people who are dead somewhere else, and then they were able to go into the bunker. They ended up getting one of their armors. One of the armors got destroyed in one of the explosions, but the other one I let them keep.
I think so. Like in the back to the frag grenade situation.
Oh yeah, because I didn't really know how I wanted to let them do.
I think you should do a scatter die.
Yeah, scatter die.
I think so.
It's hard for me to do it. I mean, like that'd be like a DM type thing though, because like requiring there to be a scatter die.
I think you do
rules.
Scatter die plus your D6 halved.
Okay. Yeah. The issue is that the explosion radius of a frag grenade is actually pretty big.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to decrease the explosion radius of a frag grenade.
It's one of those things. It's like
because I want to say it's like a 6 or 8 inch
You
blast.
very well, because in theory, none of us are trained soldiers.
Nope.
So
maybe you
accidental.
You could argue the most trained people would be you and the other android in the sense that they're robots, and training a robot isn't really.
Yeah.
That's not as much of a thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the rest of them certainly are not soldiers, or at least not that I know of.
And even my android wouldn't be super combat oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Like my android would know how to like operate in a combat zone, but not.
Initially, I thought
it's kind of a bad. That's why my android's kind of a terrible shot.
Yeah. Initially, I thought maybe giving them the assault rifle was a bad idea. Maybe I should have said it got destroyed in the explosion or whatnot. But actually, I'm realizing that it's probably okay because with the way my system works, if you're using a weapon you're not proficient in, it's way harder to hit.
-4 to hit.
Yeah. And nobody took a proficiency in assault rifles.
No.
So.
Because you couldn't afford any of the assault rifles.
I think you could have. You would have spent like all your caps.
Yeah.
But you could have.
We also used bottle caps for money.
Yeah.
I found 100 caps right away. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I gave 5 to the gunslinger to risk his life.
Yep. And then they fought a lurker, and the gunslinger used he used some of his money to buy throwing knives. He has 2 throwing knives on him, and he doused them in the venom of the lurker that the lurkers have in their claws.
Yeah.
And so now he's got poisoned throwing knives that he's gonna throw at people. So
very cool.
I thought it was an interesting scenario.
The characters met up.
Yep, they met up. I think
job.
next week I think is going to be a much better showcase of how it's going to be. I think I'm going to have to throw more enemies at you.
And I'm guessing that's going to be on like the. It's going to be on a grid, isn't it?
Oh no, I'll probably use like board tiles from like Necromunda and.
Oh sure.
I'll probably use those.
That's what I meant. I figured you were.
I'll probably use those
because it's underground.
I mean, yeah, those are basically what that's meant for. If we had like a Zone Mortalis table, I would use that. That'd be sick.
If only there was someone with a printer and a lot of time. I have a printer, just not a lot of time.
Because do they have like all the Zone Mortalis pieces online?
You could find them.
We should do that sometime.
Should.
Because that is a cool. I'd love to play on that table.
Yeah.
Just for other games.
I think honestly.
What did you? You finished your thing before.
Honestly, the 3D printer like we have here in the shop would be better at making those because you don't need a ton of detail on them.
Mm-hmm. And you could just spray them to get rid of all the like 3D printing.
Just acetone them.
Yeah. What did you think about character creation?
See, like we had you explain it to us. In theory, we should have
read through how it works.
Because
I did have the instructions on how it works.
Yeah.
But for the sake of time, because it was going to take. It already took forever to get it all done because we started later than I should have. We should have started like an hour earlier with getting people creating characters.
Yeah, cause
it was nice thing is now that it's done. Once everybody gets there, we'll just be able to let's go. Yep. We can get started. But what did you think about character creation from what I had you do?
I thought it was fine.
What did you think about the initial starting like stat distribution compared to something like D&D? Because I know that's what you have a lot of experience with.
Yeah. It was tough because every time I like put a score on something, they would be like, "This stat's also very important," and I'm like, okay. And like 5 is average.
5 is average.
5 is 0.
And I used special, so if you've ever played Fallout, you'll know what that is. Strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, luck.
Our party is not charismatic.
No. Kagan decided he was going to step up, and he has a +1 in his charisma.
I have a -4.
Yeah. Most people have like a -3 or -4 even.
I definitely have the lowest.
So
because androids have a -1.
-2
or -2, yeah. And I had a 0 on my charisma.
I guess for people, because this also doesn't make sense if you don't necessarily know how it works. We do like a pseudo points buy system. In this game, and so you get 28 points to distribute between your 7 stats, which, if you do the math, is not enough to make just a perfectly average character with 0 in everything. It's not enough to do that. You could have a 4, which is a -1 in everything. That's the best. That's the closest to average you could get. Which means it's very much a system that I feel is geared towards you min-max. Right, specializing towards what your character is useful for.
Like, I have a 9 in intelligence.
Right, but like your character probably doesn't need like any strength.
No, it's a 2 in strength. My stat is 2 in strength.
Right, but in theory you probably don't need that.
No.
Charisma, I feel, is going to be a stat that is going to... I think it's going to screw you guys over a lot once you do try to start like bartering or trying to get information from people. It's going to be very hard for you guys to do that.
Yeah.
I'll be excited to see how that works out. Another thing is pretty much nobody's spec'd into luck either.
No.
And luck determines how often you get critical hits.
Yep.
So the only person who, I think Ethan's character has a 5 in luck, which is a 0, which means he crits on a 20.
I think I have a -2.
Well, yeah, which means you have to confirm a crit if you get one.
Yeah.
Which is how I'm doing it. If you have base or any modifiers, so if you had a +1 in luck, you crit on 19s and 20s.
Yeah.
And so on for every bonus you would get. But if you have a negative, you have to get that crit, so you have to roll the 20 to start with, and then you have to confirm your crit by essentially hitting again, but with your minus luck modifier on it. So it makes it hard.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yep.
We didn't crit at all. I mean, I
think someone crit. I'm pretty sure one person crit and did like 38 damage to one of them. And immediately killed them.
The lurker crit the lurker.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? I did roll like back-to-back nat 20s though. For fixing the other android.
Yep, you got him fixed up.
Yep.
What did you think about the perks system?
It'll be interesting to see where else it can go. I basically have 2 shots.
Yeah, he's got a healing shot and a poison shot that his guy can shoot.
I'm kind of wish I wouldn't have taken the poison shot. I wish I would have taken.
I mean, if you want to change it before we start, I wish I would have taken
craft medicine.
If you want to change it before we start, I'll let you.
We'll see. I don't know what I want to do yet.
I think people are sleeping on the general perks, probably just because it was a lot to read.
Yeah.
Cause nobody took any of the general perks.
No. Well, with medic, I feel the stim shot was definitely.
No, definitely on level like 1 and 2. You're probably it's like designed for you to take the perks from your class.
Yeah.
But I think past that, there definitely are some general perks that people should look at.
You're probably right. Well, I mean, you made the game, so you're definitely right.
Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I think they're way better than they actually are.
I just like the idea of the vials turning. Because Because since I'm an android, the medic has like a stim gun.
Yeah.
You can shoot your allies.
And his whole so
but
a lot
I'm
of
android, so basically my hand just like splits and I can shoot it out of my basically my
so,
arm.
Yeah, if he wasn't an android, like if he was just a human, all the medics come with like a little like needle pistol essentially that they can load different syringes into and shoot. Like they can do healing serums, or like he took a poison shot that he can shoot poison at an enemy. So there's a lot of different. Like I think one of your other ones you can do is it's like a stimulant that lets people move faster. But that's not till level 2 medic that you can get that.
Like I said, I just like the idea of.
Yep.
Which we haven't really gotten to how do I get level 2 in my class.
Yeah, so to get another level in your class is at every 5. Yep, every 5 levels you get another class level.
And there's four different choices in your class.
5.
Right? There's 5.
There's 5 different choices per tier.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so once you get, and that's a class level, so you can multi-class.
Yep.
Like if you decided that you didn't want to go to level 2 medic, you could be like, you know what, I'm going to be a level 1 wizard as well.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should.
I'm full going medic.
I'm not.
As long as he survives long enough.
I mean, I would assume most of the time people are just going to go full into their class.
But it is a RPG, so people.
Yep. Some people like to multi-class. Yep. They won't necessarily be super great at any one thing, but they'll probably be pretty decent at the 2 things that they decide to do. Which I think because they don't have a magic class, it's going to be real wild once they start encountering anything with magic.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to have like anything to defend against it, other than like
just killing it.
Yeah, and ASMR, they have a passive damage resistance against spells. But their downside is that any non-damaging spells are twice as effective on them, basically.
Yeah, it's a good system.
Mr. Chainsaw, 10 out of 10 interaction.
Yeah. Hey, I waved.
Well, I'm acknowledging you now, but come on, can we bump it up to like a 3 out of 10?
But yeah, it was a good system.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm sure it's only going to get better as I plan out stuff more.
It's also very miniatures heavy.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's really not an RPG that you can play.
Theater of the mind.
Yeah, you can't really do it pen and paper.
Yeah.
You kind of have to play it with miniatures on and at least a grid map.
Yeah.
Although I would argue that the best experience is played on like a table full of terrain.
So like when there wasn't combat and stuff, we had free move.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Basically, you just take your model and you just go whoo, and you just
move it wherever. And if I want you to stop at a certain place, I'll stop you and be like, hey, this is happening. Woo!
Yep.
So
which is good. I actually like that a lot for that type of system.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean that's pretty much all I have. All the questions I have. I think that could maybe be since it's a weekly thing, we could maybe make that a small segment at the end of our podcast as we talk about what session we did.
Yeah, because for sessions 0/.5, all the characters met. No one died.
Nobody died. Nobody even really got hurt.
No one
they all rolled high enough initiative that they didn't have to.
Yeah, no one even got hit.
Yeah, no one even got hit.
Or really shot at.
I think the first encounter where it was the 2 guys, I think they got shot once, but that didn't hit them. It missed.
Right.
They got shot at once.
Yeah, it was good.
Leveled up. They leveled up, and that is not necessarily how the system's intended to be played, but because I'm essentially only got a summer to do this.
We're seeing how fast we can break it.
Yep, I just want to get them through the levels, and so probably at the end of every session I'm going to try and level them up, unless I feel that maybe we had to have a short session for whatever reason, or something where I didn't feel that we made adequate progress.
Sure.
So, that's, I mean, hopefully, I think it'll only get better as time goes on. I can't wait to kill some players.
I can't wait for literally team wipe.
Yeah.
We're going to be in that corridor and he's going to throw down like a Carnifex model and be like, this is a lurker queen.
Yeah.
It murders all of you.
Dead.
It cuts both androids in half.
And eats the human.
I am kind of sad. I have no idea what a shock trooper does.
He took a perk that makes his laser weapons better, or his energy weapons better.
Does he have an energy weapon?
Yeah, he's a laser pistol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was one thing I added. You can buy a laser pistol in the starting shop now.
Oh.
Not that you probably would have bought
I
one.
wouldn't take one. I would take as soon as I saw PP Bison, my heart was set.
Yep. So, I think that's really all we got to talk about today. I mean, we ended up getting this one to 45 minutes, which is longer than I thought we were going to be able to go.
Yeah.
So, hopefully next week we'll have a little bit more to talk about.
Some Forgotten Realms.
Yep, maybe some more leaks
Modern
on the
Horizons
Forgotten
2
Realms.
leaks.
Modern Horizons 2. All that stuff. A lot of Magic stuff happening right now. And
Yeah.
who knows, maybe we might get some more 40k stuff that happens. So,
Maybe.
But we'll see.
I doubt it, but
yeah, thanks a lot to Turbulent Games for giving us the space to record in, as always. And shop where you play. Even though we really, Turbulent Games has been a great sponsor and all this, we once again always, especially right now, recommend you spend your money where you spend your time. A lot of stores out there need it right now.
while play space might be free to you, it's not necessarily free to them.
Yep.
Lights cost money.
Indeed. So, I think we're gonna end the stream, and I don't know, maybe we'll play with some Commander. I know you guys were messing with Infinity models,
Yeah, put more Infinity together.
So we're gonna cut the stream and do some stuff. You guys all have a great night wherever you are in the world. See you next week.
Take care.